Hello, fellow homebrewers. Really ill this week, so welcome to Homebrew Wednesday number 25,721. Not been doing anything this week, homebrew related at all. You know what it's like when you get ill, in the middle of summer as well, and you can't do nothing. You can't do nout. So I've just been sitting here vegetating, eating some fig rolls, and watching documentaries on just Hitler and stuff. I guess something to look forward to once I'm well again is I finally got paid from a wedding that I photographed about a week ago. So there's a few things which I have on my list, which I'm going to purchase. So shout out to Brewing Shed. Thank you for doing that video on your ball valve tap and your boiler and stuff in general. It's a really good video. Thank you for that. Thank you for the shout out. That's one of those things which I'm going to be purchasing very, very soon, is a ball valve. So I'm going to purchase that, and I'm going to purchase some PVC piping as well. I was having a look at the prices on Idle Valley Brewing. Dead cheap. Dead cheap. It's by the meter. As I recall, it was it was almost less than a pound for sort of, 10 mil diameter PVC pipe. Because I've got a wild and radical idea. I don't know if it's going to work, because of course it's got to sort of work in tandem with gravity and such. And the idea sparked from, if you've seen New to Homebrew Tom's first official brew day, all grain brew day in the man cave, if you wish to call it that. He basically had some PVC piping from his mash tun that took the wort all the way out to the boil kettle, which happened to be out in the garden. Excellent idea. I thought, is there any way to be able to sort of utilise that same concept? Because it might well be the case that we've got a new shed now, it's all done, so there might be the occasion where I can do a brew day in it. So I thought, maybe if I had enough PVC piping, maybe, I don't know how many metres it's going to take, probably at least 15 metres, to be able to take the cooled wort from the boil kettle in the shed all the way to, or as close to, my room as possible, where my fermenter usually resides when it's fermenting. Gravity needs to be used, can't defy the laws of physics. It's a long way. I think I'm just going to have to try it, I'm just going to have to buy the PVC piping. I can think of other things I can utilise it for if it doesn't get used for that. But it's just going to take I just have to carry it. It's the one thing that does my nut in, is carrying a fermenter, like 20 feet away. I mean, I live in a bungalow. It's not a big deal. It's just effort. You get absolutely knackered after you've done a brew day, and that's the last thing I want to do, is lug it about. Unfortunately, for so many people, they can leave it in the place in which they do their brew days because it's temperature controlled, and they might have a temperature controlled fridge and such. So it's easier for them. But alas, not for me at this present moment. So we'll give it a shot. If anyone's got any thoughts on that, whether or not it's going to work, probably won't work, but I'm going to buy it anyway. So that's cool. Apart from that, the only thing I've been doing this week has been a total failure, which was washing yeast from the last brew day. It's been a disaster. There's been literally no signs of any yeast in it at all, so it's probably disappeared with the hops and everything when I transferred to secondary. It probably got binned. So I'll show you that now in the fridge. Thanks for watching. We'll call it a day. Literally nothing to talk about. Here it all is. You can see the chocolate is split from the beer. This is after some dilution. This isn't straight out of the fermenter. This has been diluting and diluting and diluting, and there's nothing. There is no use in the bottom there. If you're thinking of doing a chocolate brew, please either don't use chocolate powder or sieve it, siphon it out, whirlpool it on your brew day. Please do something. Don't put it in your fermenter because it's going to be a disaster for you. And not just that, the chocolate powder obviously doesn't dye the yeast, but the yeast just becomes brown. So, very few people use dark ale, porter, stout yeast for a golden ale beer because it's going to change the colour and do probably some other stuff to it. So that's that. Cool. Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. Hopefully next week there'll be something more interesting to talk about. Goodbye.